So many accounts within the book end with, something like that the bones were shipped back to the Smithsonian for further study. So you're saying you want people to take, you want academia to take this giant thing more seriously. I think the reason they don't is because of the lack of hard evidence. There is no skeleton that we can go to refer to and say, well, there's a bloody giant.
That is part of it, but there's also agendas at play as well, and there have been for a long time.
Yeah, exactly. So what was going on? Why is that the last we hear of these skeletons that were shipped back to the Smithsonian?
Well, the problem is mainly in 1990 when NAGPRA came in. That's the main thing. That removed anything else. That was on display. But we have agendas at play. We have, obviously, they were championing the theory of evolution. There was Smithsonian at the forefront of that, actually. And also we have the whole story of manifest destiny, this kind of racist agenda to remove the Native Americans, shove them onto reservations and claim they're subhuman and things like this. And so when you've got these kind of things at play, if you suddenly find a 10-foot skeleton with a 36-inch circumference skull with double rows of teeth found in these beautiful geometric, astronomically aligned mounds, it doesn't fit with what you want, and you can't take over. They're clearly, the incoming white people aren't superior to them. These are superior people. These are amazing people, and so they couldn't publish that. I didn't want that to be public because it didn't. That means they couldn't take over the land. They couldn't take over and push these Native Americans onto reservations and things like that. So you got that kind of very racist, money-grabbing, land-grabbing agenda taking place, which is the fundamental root, the kind of root cause of many of the problems in North America. And so you got that going on. You've also got, they were reporting on these things for many years until a gentleman called Ales Hedlichka came in, and he was. He actually was kind of into eugenics and things like that. This was like before the Second World War, like in the early 1900s, 1920s and so forth. And he put a stop to it and made claims. There was this claim going around that this superior race were present in North America before the Native Americans, and who were they? And they put a close to that. They claimed giants were no more. They actually put headlines out in papers, press releases, claiming giants never exist. They were all mismeasurements. They were all wrong. So when you've got like authorities like that having to put things out like that in the 1910s and 20s, that raises a few questions because, okay, they're trying to close that down, but what are they closing down? And all the evidence is all there in the Smithsonian's own reports. And so, yeah, it's a very interesting kind of intrigue, going on here.
So the guy's name?
Ales Hedlichka.
Hedlichka. So I think in the book you were talking about him possibly being a white supremacist, and it's also...
in a manner of speaking, a eugenicist. He was into eugenics and the sort of Nazi philosophies that developed from that time. Trying to make the white man superior, basically. That's basically that was the kind of agenda at play. Part of the previous Manifest Destiny agenda was similar to that in some senses, trying to push these Native Americans who they claimed were savages, which they weren't, clearly.
So the Smithsonian collected all of these skeletons from all over the country. Every time a skeleton was found, it would go to them for further study. They'd go in a closet, and then this guy, Hedgelika, came in and he...
Well, no, it wasn't just him. I think it was happening before him as well, and it really peaked with him being there. But, people would have their stuff collected by the Smithsonian, like a bone or a skeleton or a skull they found, and they would contact the Smithsonian and say, hey, can I get it back now? Can I, what's happened with it? Oh, we've got no record of it. And that would be the general thing. There's no record of it. It'd be disappeared completely.